Type 2 has two holy ideas associated to it, and they are holy will and holy freedom. Holy freedom is sort of a consequence of holy will, more in the individual soul level. So what is holy will? Holy will is the realization of the higher mind that everything that's happening with each of us and with the planet is happening for a very good reason called God's will, existence's will. Nothing that has ever happened or that will ever happen is just nonsense or inherently bad. Everything that ever happens comes from essence's will. Like a divine willingness from higher realms that we go through those experiences for a very good reason. Sometimes when we see a very hard story of someone's life, we can't believe that can be true. How can God's will be that bad? But sometimes the people I pity the most are the ones who have had the best parents and who haven't had any issue in childhood and who therefore have absolutely no reason whatsoever to do any kind of inner work, and who have found comfort in this life here, and therefore no curiosity at all with the life beyond here. We need to know that awareness paths usually open up for people who have broken hearts only, and for people who have gone through hardship. Invite suffering in so that it can go away. I don't need to have any will of myself, neither for myself or for anyone else, because God's will is enough. That means saying, God is enough. In Arab, in Sufism, this is Hasbun Allah. It's, I don't need anything but what life brings me. And all I need to do is to live that fully, with all the pain and with all the gain of what life is bringing me. Holy will is the absolute absence of any kind of personal will, any kind of willingness to interfere in the sacred plan of creation. And holy will is the complete understanding that everything that's happening is just the thing that needs to happen the most. So a being who understands that by witnessing that that's what there is, gives up completely trying to help anyone who's suffering. Why would I deprive someone from such a great opportunity? So holy will is what ultimately makes us relax in and down into our nothingness and just say, there is someone else in charge and I don't need to take care of all these people. And then, in an individual soul's level, what comes up is called holy freedom. I'm freed up from my tasks of taking care of everyone else. All my family members, all my friends, all the planet, all generations behind me, everyone after me. And also, I am being taken care of. I may not see it. I may feel deprived from having been taken care of. But I've always been in good company. I have never been alone. I've always been watched up close from guides, from divine presences, and from Holy Will itself. So I can relax and feel free from needing to do things for others, free from myself needing to fill in that role, and free from being left out, like everybody's getting everything that they need and I am not. I'm freed out of that. I'm just one among everybody else. What means actually that I'm not superior. I have my own needs and I need to attend to them. And it's not even my task to attend to my own needs. My only task is to be open to feel my needs being attended to. From divine presences, from friends that miraculously show up at the right time, help that comes up, and it would be a sin, the sin of pride, to say no to that. So holy freedom is the capacity of a being who's humble and open to existence, of taking in divine help and seeing divine help doing the work for all others in ways that I can sort of retire from helping others and realize that sometimes a cup of coffee will do it, you know. So in the heart center, the virtue that comes up for choose is called humility, which means I'm no one, I'm nothing, I'm ashes. Actually, the word humility comes from the same radical called humus, like an earth or ashes. Soil, like sand or earth. That's what I am. And I'll come back to that state when I die. So why staying, hold on to things and people and so on? Leave, love, do, go, and realize you're no one. Humility. And humility also comes from the same radical of the word humiliation. Like we have heard in several stories, not only from our beautiful Jews, but also from many others. It takes some humiliation of ego from anyone, sometimes at work, sometimes at home, sometimes in very harsh situations, for us to be closer in touch with what hurts, not ourselves, but our egos. Humiliation is a divine remedy against pride. It's one of the antidotes. Sometimes Jews are lucky enough not to need too much humiliation if they engage on a personal development path, being humble from start. But that takes the willingness of the heart to get in touch with its own needs, its own lacks, its own flaws, and look it inside and say, you are a very poor heart. Poor you. Oh, by the way, another divine remedy for Jews sometimes is being the victim. We generalize at times that nobody should play the victim role, but maybe Jews should. And maybe that's just being true to what has happened to them. Pride doesn't like to be victim, and perhaps it's wise to do whatever pride doesn't like. Humility is also the capacity of the heart to feel, to make the being feel just having its own size, the actual size. Like I'm this small in a planet that is this small in a universe that's infinite. So it's getting in touch with our insignificance and how small and how fragile we are. And the fact that we are just one among 7 billion people. And maybe also the fact that our stories are not too different from other people's. So when Jews disconnect from those essence, understandings, and divine feelings, they come down to ego, as all of us do, because they are actually not superhumans, they are just humans, like all of us. And they get in touch with what's called flattery in the lower mental center as the fixation, and with pride as the passion of the heart. Flattery is this difficult to control mental strategy of impacting everyone outside in a positive way. With a smile, with politeness, and especially being nice. Being charming, or being just a good guy, a good girl, or just that little hand that will come up at the time that people need the most. That's all flattery. And it accounts for an image that Jews create to themselves of being too nice. An image that needs to go away also when they grow up. If a Jew is really committed to growing up, they need to become a little nasty. They need to become less nice. And then also, the passion of pride means I don't have needs, you do. And poor you, you don't have an idea of what your needs are. I do. I know your needs more than you do. And I will not be in touch with my pain because your pain is bigger. I'm just can cope. Bring me more and more. And I will be okay because I am actually, I don't want to say that, but I am actually superior. Pride is the feeling of the heart as being superior, which usually hides out a big inferiority complex unconsciously deep inside. But pride itself is superiority complex. And pride means that the person will be in touch with everyone else's problems and needs but their own. And pride also means sometimes I am not going to be fully in touch with the pain of my own story. Yeah, it's a sad story at times, it's hard, but it's life and I'll just go on. And so the very first step for choose is to get back in touch with fragile feelings of their own, because although choose are very sensitive and emotional, they are much more in touch with other people's emotions than with their own. So attention goes outside to look at how others are feeling instead of how I am feeling and what I need. So all choose need to bring attention in and deep inside the heart and to find that spot where the heart is in pain and get courageously inside it and just feel it. And then there is another thing that is almost as important, which is showing that to everybody else, to fight the image that I am okay, thank you. And when I do this, I get in touch with the purity of my heart that wishes nothing but owning my own biography, my own journey with all the ups and downs, and just saying, I have no idea what to do to myself. I'm just this poor soul wandering through the universe hopelessly, feeling completely lost, and having this reminiscent sensation of a connection that we have all lost. So the remedy against pride is realizing the very misery of our human condition. The fact that here on earth, and point 2 on the Enneagram is the point of earth, that right here on earth, we are very, very, very far away from the center of the universe. We are in the periphery of the universe, in what could be called the very far, far, far away city. So let's come back.